in the dark. And they're inside this tree trunk. Hiccup's inside this tree trunk with Toothless, very sick. You can see the walls all around him. How claustrophobic would that be? There it was again, the sound. With trembling fingers, Hiccup drew his sword. It shook in his hand. "Hello?" said Hiccup, his words sounding very loud in that darkness. Silence. Hiccup had never known a darkness like it. It was so thick about him that it choked the throat and clogged the nostrils and stuffed the ears like a smothering cloak. And it came with a sense, an instinct, that Hiccup couldn't quite put his finger on, that he was sharing the tree with something overpoweringly evil. Another rustling noise, and to Hiccup's petrified imagination, it seemed like something might be moving towards him, and so he shouted wildly, "I have a sword!" The rustling stopped abruptly, and then a voice in the darkness came hissing like a serpent at Hiccup. "And so," said the voice, "do I." "I'm not afraid of you," announced Hiccup as loud as he could to give himself confidence. "Oh, yes, you are," spat the voice, "and you are right to be." An old voice, a female voice, a voice with an icy edge of the purest evil to it. Hiccup lay quaking in the dark, his left hand holding his sword, his right protecting the limp little body. Poor little Toothless. Rotten Toothless is not well. "Who are you?" hissed the voice. "And why didn't I see you coming?" "How could you see me coming?" stammered Hiccup. "You were in the dark." "I am a witch," said the voice. "Oh, that's a bad moment." "Oh dear." "Oh, great," it says. "Who are you?" repeated the voice. Hiccup thought fast. For some reason he didn't want to tell her his real name. "My name is Fishlegs," which was the first name that came into his head. "Who are you?" "My name is Hogtrude," replied the witch. Hiccup had a feeling that wasn't her real name either. "Why are you here?" asked the witch. "I was sent here by Ugg," replied Hiccup. "Ugg normally comes himself and alone. Why did he send you?" spat the voice. Toothless, as his sloppy body hung heavy in Hiccup's hand, in a stroke of pure inspiration, Hiccup thought, "Well, if she's a witch, maybe she can help Toothless." Good thought. "I am bringing a dragon for you to heal," he said. Silence again. "Where is the dragon?" hissed the voice. Hiccup held Toothless up, and bony fingers came creeping out of the darkness and felt Toothless's little limp, moaning, drooping body. "Ha!" snapped the voice. "Does Ugg think I'm a miracle worker? This dragon is as good as dead already." "Isn't there anything you can do?" asked Hiccup desperately. "Ugg is very, very fond of this dragon, and he said you would give you anything." Oh, he's clever, that Hiccup. "He would give you anything you needed, anything at all." "Herbs, poisons, needles and thread," creaked the voice, muttering resentful noises to itself. "He'll give me these, but he won't give me my freedom. Oh, I'm telling you, Ugg comes here to ask for his fortune. I tell him pretty lies. But if Ugg only knew the fortune I am weaving him." Shivering at the sheer savagery of the voice's tone, Hiccup kept silent. He cradled Toothless in his arms, stroking his ears and horns and trying to keep him comfortable. Toothless had lost so much weight that he was a little bag of bones, but his belly was horribly swollen and distended. "What's wrong with the dying dragon?" asked the voice, when it had finished its muttering. "He ate a spoon," said Hiccup, "and a magic stone and other things, I expect." "A spoon," repeated the voice longingly. The witch didn't have a spoon. And though it may not seem like much of a treasure, when you spent 20 years trying to eat soup with a fork, oh dear, a spoon becomes more desirable than it might otherwise be. "Okay," the voice agreed, "may Ugg's feet turn purple and rot like cabbages, but I get to keep the spoon. I've been wanting a spoon for so many years, and the dragon is so close to death." "What are you going to do?" whispered Hiccup. "I'm going to open him up," said the voice in the dark gleefully. "Won't that kill him?" asked Hiccup in a frenzy of anxiety. She had been hoping that she could just give Toothless some medicine to make him better. What's it to you? Jeered the voice. It's Ug's dragon. Ug is very, very fond of this dragon, warned Hiccup, and he'll be very, very angry if anything happens to him. Oh, don't worry, cackled the voice, and it was such a nasty noise. I'll sew him up again afterwards. Hiccup had heard of such operations before, but he'd never seen one happen. But how will you do it in the dark? Stammered Hiccup. I can sew in the dark. I can weave in the dark. I can write in the dark. When you spend 20 years in the dark, your hands become your eyes, said the witch. Rustling in the darkness again. Sound of somebody standing up and rummaging through things, and a scraping and a sharpening of knives, and a tense concentration as a needle was threaded. Will it hurt him? Asked Hiccup, in agony of his anxiety. Soft, jeered the voice. You are soft. Feel him. He is beyond pain. Poor Toothless was indeed now in a deep coma, his little mouth ajar, his spine soft and floppy, and his chest barely rising beneath Hiccup's fingers. I've got some sleepy herb I can give him if you like, weakling, said the witch. Hiccup could hear her shuffling closer and sitting next to him. She had a most unpleasant smell. Hold him very still, otherwise accidents could happen. This is a very sharp knife, she said with relish. I like to keep my knives sharp for gutting the rats. Oh dear, poor Hiccup didn't really trust the witch. Why would he? But what other choice did he have? And she seemed to really want the spoon. So he held Toothless still while the witch held the sleeping herb under the little dragon's nose. The sleepy herb had a strong, bitter smell that made Hiccup's eyes water, and Toothless stopped moving entirely. Oh, I think we might have to have the rest of this chapter. Oh no, we can probably get to the end. I really love these chapters, so let's try and get to the end. That was an extraordinary moment. The entire operation took place in the absolute blackness of the prison cell. Strong, skillful, bony fingers working in the darkness with a sharp knife and a needle and thread and herbs that smelled, and a witch's cool, unpleasant but highly intelligent brain. Hiccup sat as still as a statue, every muscle tense with anxiety. 5 minutes was all it took. Then she grunted and handed Hiccup something, saying, "Wipe that on my cloak." Hiccup could sense she was sewing up Toothless's stomach again. And in Hiccup's hand was the large, peculiar shaped object that the witch had found inside Toothless's belly. Hiccup rubbed it hurriedly on the witch's cloak, for it was a bit yucky. No wonder Toothless hadn't been feeling very well. But Hiccup was holding in his fingers Stoic's magic stone, attached to which were a number of other metal objects that Toothless had eaten over the years. A spoon, a fork, a ring, a bolt, a key, several coins, and Valderrama's earring, and various other little metal items that Toothless in his greed had accidentally gobbled up under the mistaken impression that they were food. All of these little metal items were stuck into the magic stone at odd angles, so that it resembled a little metal star that had sat hidden inside the darkness of his belly. I wonder why this dragon is so important to Ug, mused the voice to itself as it worked away on the stitching. It has an old scar on its chest in exactly the same place as... The voice trailed off. It's very strange. It's very strange. It's in exactly the same place. What a coincidence. It could be an accident, but there are no accidents. The witch finished the last stitch and grinned with satisfaction. Haven't lost my touch, she said, grasping bony fingers, reached into Hiccup's lap and pulled the spoon off the magic stone. My spoon, I think, she said greedily, and then he'll live. Then there was the sound of her retreating to another part of the cell. Hiccup could feel a little jerk of the body he was holding in his hand. Toothless stirred and moved. You're alive, breathed Hiccup, picking him up and resting him on the shoulder. You're alive. Hiccup could feel the beginnings of a puff of smoke drifting past his chin, and Toothless croaked very weakly and groggily, "Where are we?" "We're in this tree," Hiccup started to answer in Dragonese and stopped. There was a silence in the tree that just prickled with suspicion. You could almost hear the witch thinking, "Who are you?" So Hiccup said very hurriedly, "Thank you for healing Ug's dragon for me. I was thinking of trying to get out of here without waiting for Ug's men, because I have to get away somewhere in a bit of a hurry. Is that up there the only way out?" When the witch spoke, her voice was dry as dust. "After 20 years of searching," said the witch, "my conclusion is that is the only way out. And it is locked. Get used to waiting, boys. My voice, get used to waiting." And the voice settled back in the darkness. Hiccup stroked Toothless automatically. It was very unnerving being in a small cell with a witch you cannot see. What are you thinking? Said Hiccup. I am thinking, said the witch, that your name is not Fishlegs. Oh dear, thought Hiccup. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It was very difficult to carry on a conversation with a witch when what he was really wanting to do was run around shrieking, "Get me out of here!" But the witch could see in the dark and he could not. But Hiccup knew that the witch was suspicious now, and the only thing to do was to keep her talking. Witches loved a battle of wits. Correct, said Hiccup, and I am thinking your name is not Hogtrude. The witch laughed a wheezy, croaky sound. Correct, said the witch, but who am I? I'll tell you what, boy whose name is not Fishlegs. You seem a sharp lad, and I have all the time in the world on my hands, so I will strike a bargain with you. Let us have a battle of wits. I will tell you a story, and at the end of the story we'll each have one guess at who the other person is. Whoever guesses right gets to kill the other. Oh dear. Okay, said Hiccup. What if I don't want to do this battle of wits? I kill you anyway, said the witch. Hiccup knew she was going to say that. In which case I accept. I thought you would. The story I'm about to tell you, said the voice, bitter as bitter, is the reason Ugg put me in here in the first place. Ugg put you in here because you told him a story? Asked Hiccup in surprise, trying to listen and think of escape plans at the same time. That's right, purred the witch. Now her voice was like a drop of vinegar on the tongue. And so in the absolute black darkness of the tree in the heart of Berserk, with Toothless slowly recovering on his shoulder, listening while desperately trying to think how he was going to get out of here, this was where Hiccup finally learned the secret of the lost throne of the Wild West. Here is the story that the witch told him, the story that made Ugg the Ugly Tyke in prison for 20 years. And it had to be said, she was a horrible woman, but she knew how to tell a story. So chapter 14 is called The Lost